As a young little whooper, I grew up loving the Pokemon anime cartoons with Ash and Pikachu, but I saw events differently. Here's my inDERPretation of what I believe really happened. We meet Ash Ketchum and find out that he's 10 years old and about to leave home? What? Did anyone else think that this was horrifying? What 10-year-old is capable of leaving home? 10-year-olds are useless. Where's he going to get money from? Where will he sleep? So, the next day, Ash sleeps too late, and where's his mom to wake him up? My theory's that Ash's mom has a pill addiction. I think she might have taken too many of her antidepressants and fell on the floor and had blacked out. That's why she didn't wake Ash up. So maybe Ash was in a bad situation at home and getting away from his mother might actually have been the best thing for him. Maybe his dad left for similar reasons and that's why Ash is leaving home too. Anyway, after finally getting away from the abusive home life situation, Ash runs into Gary at Professor Oak's lab. Now, Pokemon Studios nailed Gary. You just love to hate him. You can't wait for an Ash versus Gary battle. Such a good rival and added a lot of spice and anticipation to the story. Don't you just want to slap that smug smile off his face? Okay, so the next thing that happens was very exciting to me as a child, and probably the most awesome decision a trainer has to make, which starter to choose. I personally think Squirtle's the coolest. I know Bulbasaur's considered the best starter in the game, but in real life, the badass turtle was so cool. I'm a Squirtle guy, I don't care what anyone else thinks. Ash also chose Squirtle first, but it was already taken. And the only Pokemon left was not an original option. We now meet the icon of Pokemon, Pikachu. And he immediately zaps everyone in the room, showing us that Pikachu is an electric Pokemon. Now, this is the part of my childhood where I remember quickly trying to figure out how bad electricity zaps are on a human body. It turns out real bad. I mean, anything a little more than a slight zap can mess up your internal organs, brain function, stop your heart, and can easily paralyze parts of your body. Anything that knocks you to the ground is probably death. So here we are, with both Professor Oak and Ash getting fried by Pikachu. Come on, Professor Oak, you're a professor. You should know a lot better. What's with all the irresponsible adults in Pallet Town? So I get it, Ash. Get your stuff and get the hell out of that town. There are too many crazy people there. Anyway, Ash's mom awakens from her pill-induced coma, picks herself off the floor, wipes the saliva off the side of her face that had drooled there from 20 hours of blackout coma-like sleep on the living room floor. She gathers her thoughts and stumbles her way to see Pikachu and Ash to wish them all the best. She knows he should leave. She has a deep, dark anger inside her that she tries desperately to repress with hardcore medication. I think after Ash left, she went and checked herself into Kanto Rehab. I imagined Kanto Rehab as a place, well, like regular rehab. It's exactly the same. Just because we're in the Pokemon world doesn't mean that people don't have addictions like regular people. I hope Ash's mom got the help she needed. Okay, Ash has finally left that awful place and is free to head off into the forest, alone, as a 10-year-old boy. Now, Pikachu doesn't like Ash at first, and as a child, I was really confused why. I mean, aren't Pokemon tools to cause pain to other Pokemon? And they're meant to be subservient slaves to their whims of humans? They're kept in little steel containers and fought against each other for entertainment? Bow down to the powerful humans, you pathetic animals of war. Do as we say. There are literally unlimited Pokemon, so you're all worthless and replaceable. Well, Pikachu was being a bit of a dick. But to his credit, he didn't run away immediately. Not like my pet sheep that my father gave to me as a 10-year-old. Lammy just ran miles away immediately. Why do you hate me so much, Lammy? So Pikachu is still in the picture and just chilling up a tree, watching Ash attempt to catch a little Pidgey. Now, let's talk about this for a second. Isn't this all a bit messed up? Humans can beat up Pokemon and then throw a Pokeball at it to catch it? Forever? The human now owns that Pokemon? What about that little Pidgey's wife? Its children? Its home that he had just finished building with the front porch? And what about his job? He was so close to getting that promotion at McDonald's. All of that could be taken away immediately by some 10-year-old loser kid who throws a Pokeball at you. Then you're stuck in a steel ball without any idea that you'll ever be able to see your life again. It's absolute kidnapping. Ash is a monster. This whole society's totally messed up. Okay, so I was glad the Pidgey beat up Ash and flew away. Good on it. I'm now rooting for the Pokemon and think Ash is the monster. Now Ash, being the little monster that he is, throws a rock at another bird. Because he's a maniac hell-bent on kidnapping all Pokemon and enslaving them for the rest of their tiny lives. But this time it's a Spearow, and it's really angry. Fair enough. Some loser kid threw a rock at you and hit you in the head. The Spearow also attacks Pikachu for no reason. Because this Spearow's angry and Pikachu's collateral damage. and Pikachu rightly zaps the out of it. Now the Spearow wants revenge and calls on the rest of the flock to come and peck the eyes out of Ash and Pikachu. Well, this is getting intense. After a chase scene that sees Ash summon his inner Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and jumps off of a waterfall into the fast-moving river, he's eventually fished out of the water by Misty. Misty rightfully thinks that Ash is an asshole immediately, because he is, and checks on little Pikachu. But the flock of angry Spearow are still flying after the pair. Ash steals Misty's bike because he don't give a what she thinks, and after taking the bike, Ash crashes the bike in the rain and the flock of Spearows have now caught them. They're ready to pluck their eyes out and feast on their flesh. I imagine Spearows aren't sparrows, but more like crows. Crows eat flesh, so I assume that this is a life and death situation. So here I am ripping on Ash this entire time thinking he's a monster, but this kid stands up to the swooping Spearows to protect little Pikachu who's lying in the mud. Bravo, Ash! You have courage, and you're due lots of respect for that. I don't think a normal 10-year-old kid would stand in front of crows that are aiming to pluck your eyes out. All of a sudden, Pikachu gathers his strength and explodes like an electric bomb. And based on my small amount of research on electricity from earlier, this should have easily killed them all. So after the destruction, the bodies are taken away, funerals are organized, and Ash's mother realizes it's probably all her fault. The end. No, wait. Ash and Pikachu somehow are alive. Do these two have internal organs made of rubber or something? Now, we can't say the same for the Spearows. Obviously, all of them are fried to death and the Rattata are having a great time feasting on Kentucky Fried Spearow. It's just the circle of life. We've seen a lot so far. Drug addicts, electrocutions, robbery, mass murder. This show's nuts, and I love it! Ash, you have big brass ones, and we respect that. Pikachu, you outright murdering gangsta. I'm looking forward to seeing what gangster-related crimes and immoral behavior you get up to next. I'm in. I'm hooked. I want to steal animals and fight them to the death against other animals. Bring on episode 2. Did you enjoy our interpretation of episode 1? Don't forget to subscribe to see our take on episode 2. Things are only going to be getting darker. Or maybe not. You'll have to wait and see.